Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. So recently I've done the best epics you need to use in order to beat the faction wars, and I was talking about the best epic for each faction, which is like a must build epic if you want to defeat faction hard mode. In today's video we will talk about the best two legendaries of each faction that you will actually need in order to beat the faction. Okay, the best two legendaries. As an example, let's start with Bannerlord. So the best two champions here are Marichka and Taras, and I don't have either, and because of that I'm stuck at stage 18. So but if you don't have those, what could you do? You actually need to build Raka and Timid. Why? Because they do make a great core together, and Timid gets a huge benefit by having his duo partner Kaja, because he can just grant an extra turn. Where was it? If there is no enemies with active buffs, grant an extra turn. Always grant an extra turn if Kaja. So he will use his nuke, and then he will move to the other nuke, and then he will have 2 turns on an HP nuker that also has a fear on a 4-turn cooldown. So that's technically a huge bonus for Timid. But if you don't have Timid, I would say Staltis is a must build champion. But now we have Titus, as you can see, and he is one of the best to use, or best to build the champions for his insanely good provoke, 3-turn AoE provoke that does not require accuracy. Also, you could build him as a nuker that doesn't need accuracy for his debuff. So that's like something to keep in mind. So really quick guys, get yourself a free legendary Narma by clicking the link in my description. You will also get 3 amazing epics: Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. All you need to do is, number 1, log out of Play and Play on your PC and uninstall it. Number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Number 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Number 4, go to your inbox and claim the champion. So don't miss out on the great chance to get Narma and 3 very strong epics. So make sure to click my link before it expires. I would say Kaja is the best support. Okay, Titus is the best nuker to use. I mean, he's a pseudo nuker because he has an ally protection, stuff like that. And Ronda works perfectly with Titus because of like the way his A1 work, where like whenever someone counterattack or do an A1, he will use his A1 on that. So technically Titus and Kaja are your best two. Now moving into the High Elves. Now High Elves surprisingly is insanely hard even if you have Galathir. I am someone who has Galathir and he wasn't able to beat it with Galathir until I built this champion. And it's not Arbiter. Arbiter is a must to build though, because you know she has increased attack, she has an AoE revive, and if she revives she gets an extra turn. She has the heal, decreased debuff duration, she has an A1 that has weaken, which helps against the boss. Everything about her kit is insanely good. And the champion I'm talking about here is none other than Islin. Why Islin is so good? It's literally his A3 plus his passive. So what does his A3 do? Place ally protection on all allies except this champion, where he places increased defense on himself. Then place counter attack on this champion for 2 turns. Then place shield on this champion for 2 turns. The shield value proportional to the champion's defense. So whenever he has ally protection, that's where like his passive start ticking. Whenever this champion is attacked, heal themselves by 1% for each 500 defense. So you need to stack as much defense and HP as possible, because it's 1%. As one heal themselves by 1% of each 500 defense. So just to stack defense. So let's say you have 6,000 defense. That is 6 multiplied by 2. That's a 12%. You will heal. He will heal himself by, and then allies under ally protection will be healed by 30% of the initial heal. So he, as long as there is ally protection, he will keep everyone healthy. So that's why you need this ability to be up all the time. You could also build him in Merciless plus Bolster. That's like because you need him to heal back. You know, any ally protection champion needs to heal back if you don't have a Galathir or like a champion that has a fat heal. But if it's up to me, if there is a champion I don't have and I would love to build, and I think it's a must, it's Fina. I can never pull this champion, but for me, I don't have Fina, so I build Islin as a way of protection. Because remember that Fina has block damage. Hit somewhere. Yeah, block damage. So you put it on the nuker, and the nuker will just keep counter attacking. Now moving into the Sacred Order, the best champion here for Faction War is none other than Noelle. Noelle is a beast. Noelle is one of the greatest fusions we had. She's not like an S tier champion, but she does everything so freaking well. Like, she's good in Hydra, she's good in Chimera, she's good in Faction, she's OP in Arena. She's insane everywhere. Whatever you can use this champion, she's just gonna carry you with like everything she has. Like, as an example, she has an A3 that revives everyone and frees the opponent. AoE freeze. Her A2, it's the best sheep anti-mechanic, where like if you put it on someone that's sheep, you will remove the sheep and they will gain turn meter. And then you will heal them by 50% of this champion's max HP, so you just stack HP on her, and she will literally fully heal them. And there is also, will heal everyone else with the surplus heal, so that's just a stack HP on her. Then she will put increase the speed on everyone, and you need increase the speed in Faction. And then you go to her passive, decrease the speed of enemies under freeze by 10%. So when you put freeze, they will be slow AF. The sheep debuff, this is just for Arena. And her A1 block buffs, I mean, it's a single target, but you need this single target to be on the boss, so the boss doesn't have insane buffs, you know? And she has Arena Speed Aura. I mean, technically, there is so many champions with the Speed Aura in this faction. So yeah, I would say Noelle is the best champion in this faction, and you could say that Wixwell is the second best, because he has everything. He has shield, increased defense, decrease attack, provoke, counter attack up all the time, good aura, and he was a fusion. So I would say there is two that I would expect most people to have, Noelle and Wixwell, but for me I would say Noelle and Cardiel were the best two champions. And Cardiel, you guys all know his kit. It's mainly because he keeps healing everyone with his A1, he cleanse, revive on death, and he has an ally attack with good speed aura, and he just keep everyone healed up all the time. So yeah, Noelle is number 1, Cardi number 2, Wixwell is number 3. Martyr is almost there, but I feel like those two are better. Now moving into the Barbarian, I feel like this is the easiest faction to decide. And the best champion here is Admans, the best nuker is Thor. Yeah, just as simple as that. Why Admans? It's mainly his A2, because he keep everyone stunned, and then you sheep whatever champion you hate the most. As an example, the Jingguan wave. You just sheep Jingguan, and then you can stun everyone after. And everything about this guy is just insanely good. Cell of the Drake is actually good. She helped me in the early stages, but I felt like whatever I want Cell to do, Admans can just do it way better, like way better. And also, Yakarl is one of the best to use against Faction Hard. I mean, he makes the run so slow. Like, if it's something you finish in 1 minute, you will finish it in 4 minutes because of the way freeze make you do less damage. But he's a great CC champion. He's still turn meter, one of the best turn meter control champions in the entire game, one of the best freeze champions in the entire game. It's just that he does not hit hard enough to be a nuker. So I just built him in like literally reflex gear and with like, you know, crit capped and like crit damage amulet. But yeah, overall, I think Admans and Thor are the must-2 champions to build. Now, moving into the Ogryn tribe. Ogryn tribe, number 1 champion is Blizzard, and that's because he's just... if Admans is the best CC champion in the game, I feel like Blizzard is the second best CC champion in the game. Why? Because he has an AoE freeze on his A3, and then he has a freeze chance on a triple hitter on his A1. So he can always CC. And if you build him with counter-attack masteries, counter-attack accessories, he will just keep everyone frozen up all the time. Like, he wouldn't care. I mean, his A3 has like a 4-turn cooldown, but you don't care because his A1 will still almost do the same job. I actually don't use his A2, but it's good to use against bosses because ally protection has just an insane damage mitigation. And remember, even if he dies, nobody cares because he's gonna revive himself, and that's not the end of it. He will actually, after reviving himself, put revive on death, so he can revive himself twice. And if you get this running up every 3 turns, he can revive himself again. So Blizzard is the best champion to use in this faction. I would say Stock is the second best, but Stock requires setup. As an example, if you want to use a Stock, you have to have Gizmag to make him better, and you need to use Urigrim as well, so he can just keep activating poison. But I used him without Urigrim, but I had to build him with 400 speed in faction, so he's able to put his poisons here and then get another turn before the wave takes a turn. and activate the poison. And he is just an insane champion. Like he has a heal. He has poison activation, and then he has A1 that extend poison or HP burn. Then he has a speed aura. Then he boosts your damage whenever allies attack enemies with destroyed max HP, and he does destroy the enemy HP, increase their damage dealt by 10%. So he will boost your damage and do like lots of damage to the waves. And if you give him the poison relic, he will literally almost kill all waves at any stage. But as long as you get 2 turns, like you put the poison and then you activate the poison. And funny enough, I think he activate and then he filled the turn meter. So it's like one of the best poison activation abilities in the game. It's, I think, one of 2 abilities that can activate poison and HP burn. Another champion that's great is actually Vizog, but Vizog does not have HP burn, right? No, he does bring poison and HP burn. So Vizog is like slightly better, I would say, but Stock has a more like logical kit. Like this guy needs a setup. If you have him, he's a must to build. And remember, if you can just get enough faction allies, you should be in a good situation. As far as the lizard, this might be controversial because like the good ones aren't free champions. Like like as an example, let's start with Razan. Razan is good, but okay, because he's very slow and has low technically defense, he requires like a very good gear to be fine, you know, not OP, fine. But if you have Fushan, he's, I think, the best champion for faction war because he hits hard, also he stuns, he has a speed aura, and also he decreases defense. So he kind of bring all the kit you need for faction. But the best one in this faction, I would say Nekmothar, because he keep you fast and keep your enemies slow, and he keep you healthy, and he decrease the damage you receive by having decreased attack on everyone, having your speed as fast as he can go. So I recommend just building him for faction. Don't build him in relentless, build him insanely fast. So what I do, for me, I just use the fast, whenever I'm doing faction, I just use my fastest gear on him, and he will literally just carry, keep taking turns after turns, keep my teams like taking 3 turns before the wave take 1 turn. Because like, let's be real, in faction hard, if the wave takes a turn, you're gonna go like to 20% HP at best. Okay, if they don't kill you the champions, especially if you have attack nukers. So Nekmothar is number 1, and I would say number 2 is Krisk, but Krisk is a void legendary, so technically not everyone have him. So if you don't have Krisk and you have Fushan, that's your Krisk. There is this guy which they added recently to the game where like he just sleep you non-stop. Chagor is good. But I would say Pythion is a must because the boss reflect all of the debuffs on him, so you need a champion to cleanse, and the only champion that can cleanse in this faction is Pythion. So Pythion is a must to build. So I know I said 3, I said supposed to be 2, so it's Nekmothar, Pythion. The other 3 is up to you. Romantu is insanely good. He's actually a must to have as well. So that's 4 for this faction. Well, this faction is like kind of filled with junk. But ideally speaking, Pythion, Nekmo, Romantu are going to be on everyone's team. Let's be real. Moving to the Orcs. As far as the Orcs right now is one of the hardest factions if you don't have those 2. And like I don't have those 2. And I struggled insanely hard just to defeat this faction. But I was lucky enough to pull Warlord, and he helped me out. The champion that is must in this faction is Raka. Without Raka, you can't progress in this faction. So I apologize for that. It's not my fault. It's Plarium's fault though. Bills is a good champion. He's actually very good for faction. Remember, he has leech, block deep, and block buffs, which can help you staying healthy. But the problem is you need a champion to cleanse. And the only cleanse here is Raka. I mean, if you have Fidey... Wait, Fidey is not from here. It's from the other faction. I mean, don't get me wrong. Any faction Unity champion is a must to use if you have him. So you might not hear me talking how must they are to build, but they are always a must to build. Any faction Unity champion is a must to use for faction and siege. Those are like the main 2 content for those. Because let's be real, those are the main reason they made siege. Because they made faction Unity champions, nobody cared about them. And then they just threw faction Unity champions, so now we care about them because there is siege and there is faction war. But soon enough, a must build will be Shayak and the current fusion, Crow Cad. whatever his name is, because he just does insane damage. Okay, six people already pulled him. That's insane. Wow. 6 people already pulled him. That means people are just pulling shots for CVC, I'm assuming. Varl is a good champion. Gomolok is a good champion. Those 2 free champions you get from by playing the game. But I would say the must is Raka. Without Raka, it's very difficult. A champion like Artak, I mean, he's insane in faction because of the way his kit works. But the problem is the second boss, if you hit the minions, he will counter attack. So it's kind of bad to use Artak. So this pick might surprise you. Grohak actually clutched faction war for me. So I know that people might not like it. Why? He's kind of has a bad kit, but it's not the worst. Attack one enemy, steal the target turn meter, place 25% weaken. So this does help a lot against the boss because we have weak support. So when you steal the boss's turn meter, you technically take more turns, right? And then his A2 doesn't hit hard, but every time he uses it against the wave, he gets another turn. So technically, if you build him in a stun set, provokes, I don't recommend provoke set because he does not have stats, does not have good stats to tank moves. So you're gonna end up stun set or damage set. Does he hit hard? Well, I have a 5-star soul on him, so technically for me he does hit hard. He has a speed aura, but no, it's in dungeon only. I don't know what dungeon is I don't know which dungeon you'd expect to use this champion, to be honest. I think the only dungeon that he's actually good is actually Minotaur. But now moving into what are the best and must to build, it's Raka and Warlord, those 2. Everything else is way less of a quality champion, but until we get Krokad, then Krokad and Shayak will be the must to build. So yeah, that was the end of part 1. See you in part 2.